What is going on YouTube? It's Sankey and I make videos on the stock market. If you've been rocking with the channel, you know we've had an explosive week in our portfolios this week. We've hit a lot of success and it hasn't stopped there today. I'm happy to announce that we've hit another double up on one of our plays that I introduced you guys to a couple of weeks ago. Over the weekend I did say I'm looking to finish off 2020 with a bang and enter the new year correct, right? And that is exactly what we have just done. Now I just want to pull up a conversation I've had with one of my Patreons a couple of days ago. So Ian said the 3 penny stocks have all exploded. Should he buy some more? I then said I'm not personally getting any more. Jumping in the second day after a run up increases your risks. However, my next stock I'm buying or rebuying, because I already bought them a few weeks ago, is GEVO. Let me just jump into GEVO. So up on screen we have GEVO currently sitting at $3.69. This company is flying. They were up almost 30% on the day, and at one point they were up almost 40%. So there's definitely room in this company to grow. And big shout out to you. You messaged me earlier this week on the Patreon, then you locked in your position and now you're sitting on 30% on your money. So I definitely want to see you down in the comment section. And this is why I created the Patreon, so you guys have a better channel to communicate with me on, and also access to a lot more information and at much better speed. GEVO are a renewable energy business, right? What they do is they take plant matter and they turn this into fuel. They claim that their fuel is just as good, or if not better, than traditional fossil-based fuels, and mainly they target the aviation sector. Now the GEVO business fits nicely into Biden's $2 trillion green energy plan that we know is going to roll out once he takes the White House. And they're going to have a lot of benefits from that. Just a couple would be potentially reduced taxes, but also increased funding for R&D purposes, which is ultimately going to help the GEVO business. So GEVO actually had a fantastic December month. They made a lot of progress in their business, and that progress has translated into an increase in their share price. And I do think this is going to give them momentum in their business to increase that share price further going into 2021. So first up, GEVO secured a deal with a company called Fuel. Now Fuel themselves are a global fuel supplier, right? So they take GEVO's fuel and then supply that to their different clients. Now this, in my opinion, is going to mark the start of renewed business, right? Fuel themselves are a $400 million company, so there's a lot of potential business for GEVO going into 2021. And probably what is the most significant news for GEVO this month is that they have an option on a new production site. This site is enormous. It's about 240 acres. This is about 120 football pitches, and this will allow them to do about 45 million gallons of fuel. To put that into perspective, that is over 1,000 10-hour Boeing 747 flights. What I do like about this is it's going to help them ramp up their business, ramp up production, and service a large client base. Now, they've also come out and said that there's a potential to expand this facility further as the GEVO business grows. So you can see that the management are serious about growing this business. Now, another significant thing is this allows them to service a $1.5 billion contract that they have with a commodities trading company, right? So you see GEVO are winning big contracts, right? They're ramping up their production, and this is why I think going into 2021, this share price is going to explode further. Now, in terms of where the clean energy market is going, it's set to grow over 13% constant annual growth rate between 2020 and 2027. You guys know I like a growth rate above 10% because I'm looking to beat the S&P 500 growth rate by looking at faster growth companies and faster growth industries as well. Now, this is a under $500 million market cap company, and this means that there's a lot of room for this company to go and a lot of room for that share price to grow. Now, we're not alone in our forecast, in our estimates for this business. A couple of analysts out there have a price tag of $5. This above the current share price gives you over 30%. So that's a nice uplift, right, on their share price. Now, I do see this company getting well past that $5 mark next year. This could easily be a $7, $8 company by the end of next year. So in terms of my entry point buy zones, because they've just had a run up in their share price, it's a little bit more difficult to predict what's going to happen the day after. You can normally get a sense of that share price movement 2 or 3 days after a run up, right? But if you can get in under $3.05, that's a good entry point. Low load up, get your position, and there should be some fantastic momentum going into 2021 with GEVO. So if you've been rocking with the channel for a while now, you know what time of the day is. It's question of the day time. This question comes from a patron. Nick wants to know, what are your thoughts on FSLR, leader in solar? A lot of hedge funds have large positions in this. Been watching for months. Looks like they're moving nicely for a 3-year play. So thank you very much for sending in this question. Guys, if you have any questions, leave them down below for me. And this is a fantastic question because it fits in very nicely with the theme of this video, and that is renewable energy businesses, right? You know, we're looking for high growth industries as we enter into 2021 and beyond. That's how we're going to take our portfolios to the next level. You know, over here on this channel, we've made a lot of money in EVs, made money in streaming businesses, cloud computing, cybersecurity, most recently UAVs. And a lot of us are in Alpine. There's a lot more good returns to come on that one. And now we're going to make a lot of money in renewable energy businesses. This is where First Solar comes into play. If you don't know First Solar, they're a large US manufacturer of solar panels. Up on screen, we have the First Solar long-term share price graph. So as you can see, way back in 2008, this company was trading almost at $300, and it's kind of declined since then, right? Since about 2013, 2014, it looks like the business has been consolidating for quite a period of time. Now, if you know me, you know I don't like to invest in companies that show this kind of share price movement. I like to invest in companies that show that steady upwards trend year after year for 10 years plus, because it shows that they're delivering to their investors on all fronts, from innovation to profitability, right? But if we take a closer look at First Solar's share price graph, we can see that something interesting is happening right now. Okay, so up on screen we have the 5-year First Solar share price graph. And you guys know I was talking about consolidation, support lines, resistance lines. So at the top here, about $80 is what I would call First Solar's pretty much long-term resistance line. Yeah, down here around just below 35 is First Solar's long-term support line. As you can see, over the last 5 years, First Solar has been trading in this channel up until now, right? So as you can see in this blue circle, it's broken through that $80 resistance line, that long-term resistance line, and it looks like it's on an upwards trajectory. So this is kind of a game changer, right? And it's showing a different sign of share price pattern, different sign of movement in that stock, right? So we could be onto good things as investors or potential investors in First Solar if we're to jump in right now. Now, for First Solar to break through its long-term resistance line of $80, it must be performing very well and it must have future growth prospects, right? That long-term resistance line of $80 would be a very hard resistance to break. As you can see, over the last 5 years, it did not do that. It met the line a few times, but it wasn't able to break it, and it's finally broken it. So I think there's two main reasons why we're now seeing First Solar break through that long-term resistance line of $80. The first is it's starting to produce some fantastic results all around. So just to give you guys a couple of highlights, in their Q3, they completely knocked analyst estimates out of the park, both in revenue and in net income. We are talking 44% revenue growth quarter on quarter. This is amazing, guys. Now, in terms of their margin, right, increased from 25% last year to 31% this year. That means that they're becoming more profitable, they're managing their business better, cutting costs if they need to, right? So their top line is growing and their margins are improving. So this is a recipe for success. Now, in terms of their earnings per share in this last quarter was $1.45. That's a 5 times increase on last year. And on a cash basis, they are cash rich. They have about 1.4 billion cash net, right? So you can see that First Solar, they are morphing into a fantastic business. That is why they are breaking through that long-term resistance line, growing rapidly, margins improving, cash rich. It's all looking good on a financial point of view. Now, guys, I always look at the industry and the industry growth, because as I said, I want an industry that is growing faster than the S&P 500 of 10%, right? Now, the solar energy market is set to grow by 17% constant annual growth rate between 2020 and 2025. So that's exactly what I want to see. It's a fast growing industry as well. So the future is looking good for First Solar, and that is one I definitely want all of us to put on our watch list, because there are a lot of plays I'm going to start introducing you guys to in the renewable energy space. Because now, as Biden takes office and that rollout of that green energy plan is starting to be implemented, there's going to be a lot of stocks, a lot of companies that are going to profit from that, and I want to make sure that we're all loaded up in time to enjoy that and have a fantastic boost to our portfolios as we go through 2021. So that brings us to the end of the video. Please hit a like, it really helps the channel out. If you're new, do go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I post each and every day. As we close out this year and head into the next year, there's a lot of opportunity in the stock market, so I want to make sure we're all prepped and ready to dominate 2021. It's going to be a fantastic year. And as we approach Christmas, I want to wish everybody out there a very happy Christmas, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.